Yo. Alright, what's going on, peeps? We're getting things started here today. We're going to be working on some quick and easy things. It's going to be not too long of a stream today, maybe a few hours, but we're going to try to get some other things adjusted and fixed in the game. So let's get to it. Let's see what we got here. We're going to be basically working on a UI first. I want to try to adjust how a UI works. So we're going to need to grab our Vitals UI. Let's go to our Vitals UI if I can find it. Vitals under main HUD. There it is. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Okay, so I got a spot for Vitals. Now I gotta make a spot for skills. I want to have skills be able to move similar to how the Vitals box moves on the screen, so we're just gonna do that. O_skills. Abilities. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got O abilities. Let's find, hold on. I guess we're gonna have to search for it because I can't remember what the hell it's called. So let's try searching for Vitals. There it is. Duplicate that. As well as UI abilities window. Move that in under skills, I guess, for now. Okay, yeah, that'll work. All right, so the skills window, skill button, button abilities, go. Okay, so we're gonna have a few things to do inside of here. Change this to button skills window. I don't need any of this. Okay. We're going to change this to, let me see here. Basically, I think you should only have like 4 abilities that you can use at any given time. I think that's how many I have. Let's double check. Go over here. I gotta fix this real quick. Hang on. Okay, so we just want these. Might turn those into BPL functions. I don't know. I don't care about combat. Get those. All right. So layout comes from here. So really all I need is to do what this does, which is to say okay. More ability slots. I have to do some just finagling here, but let me see what I can do here. Overlay, ability, layout. Make this into a horizontal box. There we go. Let's do 100 by 100. Copy this. We're gonna do that. Actually, might be able to just leave that the same. Three. Okay. All right, so ability layout. Now, how are we going to do this? guess I can make these 4 equipped in the save game. Save ability layout. Vector type hotkey. Okay, so I think what I'm going to have to do is under skills. I'm going to have to add something. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Should I make this like a mini, like a map maybe? Like a map, so it'd be skill, name, and slot. I could do it that way. Skill, name, and slot. Let's see. Abilities. Ability equip window. I can do skills. I'll just do name. Oh, fucking hell. And a number. Ability equip window. I got ability layout, but let's try ability equip window. I'll name this PS ability equip window. And then what we'll do is we are going to move all of this yeah. Save game. Fuck it. Alright, we'll just do it this way. Make some more space. Get ability equip window. And that is going to set to this. Okay. So on load, we grab this, blah, blah, blah. Now I have to make sure I save this. So let's go to our BPL function library. It's going to be probably under player settings. Let's see, player settings. Yeah, I guess I'll just do it under player settings for now. Okay, yeah, that'll work. All right, I'll just put it under player settings. So we're gonna go to this, delete that. See, this is the compile right here for abilities equipped. We're gonna change all this shit. Okay, so we're gonna do right here where we load our skills, football stats. Think about this for a minute. If I boot up all my skills, I think I want this to do something a little different here. Let's see, if we go to our structures, player setting. Okay, well, at the very least, let's do one thing at a time. Okay, this is going to be UI ability window position. Save that. Okay. UI ability window position. Okay. So that's updated. Now let's make it so we can actually move the window around. The hell is that H key? There it is. Skills. Okay, so all I'm doing is a dispatch. We're going to change how that works right now. And it's going to get changed to ability equip menu, ability select menu. So that's EH. Nope, not anymore. Now we're going to do a menu switcher instead. This is going to go to a new menu that we have to add, which is a part of eMenu list enums. Okay, open this up. Add a new one. We'll call this menu underscore ability select window. Actually more of like an ability equip. Ability equip window. It needs to be underscored. Like that. Menu ability equip window. Okay. Okay. Menu ability equip window. And that's going to do something like this. Content. Yes. Just going to add this one to the viewport. Yeah, we're going to do something a little different. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Okay, interactor, menu, get rid of those. That's all old news. Okay. UI ability equip window. Change the name of that. And this one will be UI abilities, I guess. Okay. Now, here's where things get interesting. So when I press H, it's going to fire off this, which is going to open this up. Let's see if that part works. Might have to make a new character still. I was doing some other work earlier. Right. Starter items. All right. That's looking good. Okay, I was trying to work on some other clothing stuff, so I got that started. Okay, now I press H. Good. That opens up. I press H again. It closes. I press H. I move. It closes. Good. So it's accepting all the normal commands. So now we gotta get this menu to stay small. And we probably want it to be in the middle. We gotta change the appearance of how it looks. So let's do that next. Okay. Start on screen. Middle, middle. Middle, middle. Size box. This needs to go over here. Center. Oh, wait, this one's 0. This to be center, center. 5. Okay. 5. All right. Get rid of expand. We don't use that anymore. That whole section got wiped out. Means main game instance skill list full view can get wiped out. Care about this or this. Main view, that's gonna be their main game instance. There, get rid of that. Alright. I'll save, go back to this UI. Yeah, we're doing some major construction here because I don't like the way that this thing looks. What's going on, cat food? So we're just going to completely change this. Alright, so get rid of that. Cat food, you should be excited. You should be ecstatic. I'm going to probably do some ARC mods eventually. I don't know what to do. I was thinking probably skins is the safest thing to start with. But that's what I was thinking. Okay. So all this, I'm just going to leave that for now. Let's see what happens here. It's going to look like shit, but we're still just trying to move some shit around here. Alright. So if I hit H, there we go. Okay, so now it's centered. That's what we wanted. And we're going to get this to go inside here. Like all this stuff will be inside here. And then you'll just choose what you want to equip. And then that equip will go into a new window so we can see it always down live on the lower left. Then we can move it around. Penguin skins, yeah, I mean, fuck it. Make a penguin outfit. Just like that T-Rex one. It's so easy, dude. We can like literally do anything. So if you got any good ideas, let me know. I was thinking skins probably first. Like, I don't know, I can do clothing, I can do building skins. The whole point is to make money. Like, zero fucks given. Like, just what do you think will make the best amount of money? That's the first big thing, right? Because I saw that one guy has like 7 million downloads with like $5 a pop. I'm like, oh my god. For like some kind of like high-tech looking skin pack. I was like, I mean, we could easily do that. So, I don't know. I was thinking of doing something like that. Alright, we don't need this. This. Let's fix this design real quick. Alright. Okay, so I got my skills. Centered, centered. This needs to be center, center. There we go. Okay, so now this should appear in the middle of my screen with all of my buttons that I need. There it is. Perfect. And then we'll have a list of all our abilities. Let's learn some shit real quick. Okay, so then we'll see these here. So that's good. And then when I equip these, I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. Probably just click it, and then that'll equip it. So I'll click this, it'll equip. But how do you know which one to put it in? Maybe I should do a drag and drop. That might be the easiest for that. Because you're essentially choosing what kind of abilities you want to use. Or I can make this just like a list of abilities, and then you drag and drop these into a hotbar down here that will have these. New shirt that I added. Not too bad. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have some errors. That's okay. Get rid of that. All right. So if we're gonna do a drag and drop, then we need to know how we're populating these. So when I populate them, I am using what? What is this? Okay, good. This is the actual button. All right, so if this is the button, shit. Might have to grab some help from Grok on this one. How the hell do I add the extra function for drag and drop? Let's see. Press sound, normal, hover. More now. Just ordered new Intel CPU. My 8-year-old i7 is starting to show its age. Yeah, mine's starting to show its age, and mine's an i9. Jesus. Yeah. Crazy. It's just constantly gonna get worse, you know. Always have to upgrade and stay up on the latest tech. All right, so on clicked, that's not really what I want. His mouse button down is what I want. Enable the on mouse button down event by clicking the plus next to it. Details under events. Oh, is it this one? Yeah, okay. I think they're talking about this. There we go. Okay. Okay, if true. Is drag dropping. There we go. Create drag drop operation. Self. Operation class to drag drop operation. That's correct. Okay, I think this is the part that I haven't done yet. This is going to be a blueprint, I think. Class. We just use payload for that. Details panel ensure it is focusable. Check. Yeah. I know, right? The Sky Pirates. Yeah, it gets hopping, man. It gets hopping. That's for sure. Select target widget. In the details panel under events, enable on drag enter. Ugh, son of a bitch. Open the target wait. In the button's details panel, enable dragging on the button. In the button's details panel, ensure is focusable check. Is drag enabled in the button's properties. Open the target UI. Okay. Select the target widget, border, or panel. Okay, so now we have to choose. Let's see, it's going to be over here. So this. Undrag, enter, undrag, over, undrag, top. Drag, enter. Well, if we're gonna do this, okay, let me do it this way then. Let's make our other widget, and then we'll just put it in here. That way we don't have to do it twice. Hold on. I've been meaning to like redo this abilities window system. It's going to be similar to Path of Exiles. Okay, so we're going to say ability slot 1, whatever. Drop. Alright. Fucking text messages, hold on. Okay. On drag enter. On drag detected. Drag leave. On enter, leave. Where's detected? Okay. Okay.
And when I'm next to you, do anything you want to. Inside your dream, it's true. It's not a fantasy, girl. It's closer to the truth. A moment of adventure, spending it there with you.
Whoops, this is drag detected, my bad. On drag detected. Left mouse button is down. Create this. Operation send. What's up, agent? What's going on, man? And drag enter. Oh, I'm trying to do this drag and drop bullshit. Okay, on drag enter, we'll say These are the slots. Let's take the image. What's new, man? Should be at 0. Relaxing, nice. Oh, cool. All right. Very nice. Okay, nice. Yeah, make your own vehicle. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah. Not bad, not too shabby. Get child at index. Should be 0. I'm just gonna make the images change color. That's easier. 2, 3, 4. Set brush tint color. Then on drag enter. It's a doozy. Yeah, drag and drop. Yeah, it's drag and drop is never that fun, but gotta get done. So is what it is. All right. So if this is set to, we'll set the color to purple. When I enter with the drag and drop, and then we're going to, upon leaving, set it back to its default color, which is what? That. Okay. All right, so when I enter, it'll turn purple. Outline settings. Image outline and tint. Let me do this instead. This is like a BPL that I made. Makes my life a little bit easier. Yeah, this is like all built in. Alright, so we'll do this, and we'll do... Well, shit, if this is outline, then we'll just do green. That'll make more sense. Alright. See, I don't want all of them to change. How do I do an on drag enter? Ugh. If the drag enter, on this, but I can't do this more than once. I guess it's got to be for each one. Whatever. This doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I mean, this is just going to make them all turn the same color, but whatever. Okay, sure. And this does this. And go back to white. Go back to 1. Or come on. There we go. All right. Compile. Save. There's no way I can put this off, can I? Okay, wow. Shocking. What's up, cluster? Welcome, welcome. Okay, I can't move. That's some other bug. Alright, so here we go. Okay, of course, drag and drop doesn't do shit. Alright, so let's figure out why. I don't have a fucking clue of what I'm doing, so. When the mouse button is down, that is supposed to create a drag and drop. And then the drag and drop is supposed to move the mouse. I don't know. Not for a drag and drop, because you have to have the left mouse button down. So yeah, I'm not getting any confirmation on left mouse button going down. Okay. I have no clue. Yeah. Yeah, it's not hovering though, unless you mean you can drag during hovering. Because I have to click first, you know what I mean? I have to be pressed. Like AI said to do it this way, to make a function on mouse button down. This isn't even like getting called. So yeah. I think I need something to trigger here. Let's just say when on click. I don't even need this anymore. That's old. Let's just, can I run this? Yeah, see, this is a mouse event, so I don't know. I'm so checked out. I gotta get some fucking air on. It's like 100 degrees in my room. What's up, Denick? Undrag detected. Do I have to do that inside the button itself? This is for receiving. Oh, you're talking about up here? Right. Yeah. But, see, I already did the drag one. Undrag detected. Just like put this in here maybe. Maybe I had the wrong function. I don't know. This shit's like really foreign to me. Like I've done some things like this before, but I'm not really that good at it. So on left mouse button down, drag will be detected, I guess. I don't know, I'm so confused. Is this like something that I have to call? No? It's automatic? It's inherent? So I have on drag detected, left mouse button down, I'm guessing. If true, create self as a separate widget, and like, is that right? I'm using a custom operation. Maybe I should use the inherent one? Oh. So do I put the create operation inside here? Like, how else would I tell it to start? Oh, okay. So I put that in there, and then the mouse button does what? It's just handled? Okay. So this is saying it's been handled, which then triggers the next event. Man, I wish they would have explained that better. Oh, Timeria. What's up? Let me find it. Hang on, I was in the middle of some deep code there. Where is all this stuff? I don't even know where it is. There it is, spellbook. This is your favorite song, right? There you go.
Hey, great day for flying a kite.
There's always time to fly a kite, Timeria. Always. Always. Alright, hold on. Always shitty weather every time I want to test something. Alright, so nothing's triggering at all. It's not even registering my mouse events. So I have nothing in the event tree that does anything. I mean, there's like bullshit in here. It doesn't matter. So like, I've got on mouse button down. If true, we're handled. If false, do I need a false? I don't know. Maybe. Doesn't this have to be like on mouse button down and overlapping? Like, I'm so confused. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be like on hovered and mouse button is down? On the mouse button, on mouse button shouldn't be there? Oh, at all? Not what AI was saying. Fucking hell. Alright, let me get rid of mouse button down. This is the actual button itself. So you're saying all we need is on drag detected, which just says what? And then how do we know I think I hit my capacity last week. There's just so many things I've got in my brain. I don't know if I can learn anything new. Finally hit the old capacity. They made this engine so ridiculous. So complicated. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Alright, so I've got a button. Like, why can't they just make like on click drag? You know what I mean? Like just inherent. I mean, yeah, but that's ghetto. Like, that's why I think I need the mouse thing. I don't fucking know, man. It's not at all what AI was saying. I'm getting nervous because now there's like different messages coming from everywhere. So like, ugh. In the widget designer, in the details panel under events, I'm guessing that's in here. I don't know. Enable the on mouse button down event by clicking the plus button next to it. What? Enable the... This is saying that there's like an event. But it's not in here. I bet it did, Agent. I bet it did. From the on mouse button down event, check if press... What? In the details panel under events, enable the on mouse button down event by clicking the plus button next to it. There is none. There is none. Okay, so Grok is lying. That's cool. That's rare, but it's completely lying to me right now. See how it squirms after I say it's not in there. So they're saying to do it with a click now. I'm so confused. I don't usually do this, but I don't have a choice, so. Time to watch YouTube.
Hello, in this video,
Let's watch a video. I don't know.
you're going to learn how to create a drag and drop system inside Unreal Engine. So I have two slots here. One slot has an apple, one slot's empty, and I can just select this apple and drag it, and then drop it into the slot. When I do that, it's going to remove it from this slot and add it to this slot. And if I want to, I can then drag and drop from this slot into here. So in this video, you're going to learn how to create this system. This can be used in things like inventory, or maybe you just want to know how to basically move UI elements about. Before we get started, if you'd like to learn how to use the drag and drop system with other systems like an inventory, make sure to check out my RPG inventory system course. In it, we go over how to make an image of an apple. This is the item that I'm going to be dragging and dropping. Open this up, expand it, go over to my screen, into and out of. So if we just right click, go over to user interface, select a widget blueprint, then select the user widget, and just call this the widget blueprint underscore slot. Open this up, and then in the palette, look for a size box, and look for a border, and this like a nice kind of out of the game, what image this slot should have. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use this node called event pre-construct. Unreal Engine will basically fire and run this node before this widget appears on our screen. So event pre-construct, we just want to drag in our item image, get it, and we want to see if we have a value. So we can set what image we want our item to have. Whilst we're here, also make sure it's instance editable and expose on spawn. We just want to drag off here and look for is valid. If we've set an image in our item image, then this will be valid. With an image of something, so I'm going to make it have an image of an apple, and it should appear. Next, we need to make it so we can basically drag this image onto this slot, and then it'll be removed from this slot, and then it'll basically appear here. So in order to do this, we just want to compile everything, go back to our widget blueprint slot, and we basically need to detect when the player character is trying to drag on this slot. To do that, we just want to go to functions and go to on preview mouse button down. And this can basically detect when we are pressing a button on our mouse. And we want to check to see if the player character is holding the left mouse button on our widget blueprint slot. If that's the case, then we're going to allow our player character to drag the item. So we just want to drag off mouse event and look for is mouse button down. Then just select here and then select with your left mouse button and it'll automatically change it to the left mouse button. So we're basically going to check to see if the player character is holding the left mouse button when they're basically hovering on this slot. If that's the case, then we just want to drag off here and look for branch. If that's the case, then we just want to drag off true and look for detect if drag is pressed. For this, just select it and make sure it's the left mouse button. And we just
Detect drag if pressed. See, I didn't know about that node. Why is he using something different? He's using on preview mouse button down, which is something totally different. Whatever. I don't know if there's a difference. We need to detect drag if pressed. Yeah, see, I didn't know about that node.
want to connect from mouse event into pointer event. This will basically allow us to know when the player character is pressing the left mouse button on the slot. If that's the case, then we're going to create a drag event. And just look for drag. And we're going to call this node on drag detected. And when the player presses the left mouse button.
Okay, so the first thing is to make the preview mouse button down, which does the detection on its own.
On the widget here. And just look for drag. And we're going to call this node on drag detected. And when the player presses the left mouse button on the widget blueprint slot, the drag detected event should fire. So I'm just going to drag up here and look for print string and make this a drag.
Okay, whatever. I don't care about that. All right, so then what he does is on begin play. This is the.
It will be my back. And then let's set and compile mouse button to make it so we can actually drag this item there. So we're going to actually need to create another widget. This will be similar to,
Yeah.
and call this the widget blueprint underscore dragged image. Open it up. And for this, we can just copy the slot image and then just
Oh, I should probably make a default drag drop icon somewhere. That might be easier. User interface, blueprint, UI, drag, window. And we'll just make this pretty freaking simple real fast. We're just going to say overlay, image. Okay, we'll just say this is like 85 by 85. That's pretty standard. Center, center. Start on screen, compile. Drag image. Okay.
delete the border, then just paste it again and rename this to the dragged image.
Yeah, I should probably do a size box too. Let me change something real fast. Let's do size box. Just make sure that this stays the same no matter what. We could do 100 by 85 by 85. Keep it small. Okay.
This doesn't need a border. This is valid. And we can just connect from event pre-construct into here.
Okay. All right.
Here, slot on drag detected.
Okay, so back to the slot then, and he's saying undrag detected, yeah.
We just want to drag off here and look for create widget.
Right, so this is where he does what I had before. I think we're just missing the initiation phase.
The widget we're going to create is going to be the widget.
Create widget. Okay. UI drag drop window. This is going to be the icon. So in this particular case, it's going to be not the resource BG. What is it? It's going to be the ability icon. Of course. Image object reference output and texture 2D object reference input. Okay. Ability icon. What is this? Matching image. Output. Texture 2D object input. What does that say? Image object reference? What? Why would that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Whatever. Image object image. Hello? Image? Image object reference. There it is. Change, fine, whatever, piss off. How am I gonna change that? I don't understand how I'm gonna change that if it won't let me do a texture. This is like super stupid. So I want this image to be changed. This is literally a texture, isn't it? Drag image. Drag image. Alright, whatever. Bro, like what the fuck, man? How is this not a texture 2D? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me how that's not a texture 2D. Because if we change it here, I mean, like, what? Why is this an image? All right, that's all right. That's okay. I think I know what's going on. It's because I'm trying to pull it from something else. So I need to grab the actual input data, which is coming from skills. That's why. So let's grab skills. I'll break this out and I'll get the damn image this way. There we go. Oh, is that a soft? Of course it's soft. Of course. Let's do async. Mm, we'll try to resolve first. Hang on, this is tricky too because this can get really weird fast. So we have to try to resolve is valid. If not valid, we have to async load. I thought it was async load. Is it not called async load? What is that? Async async shit. Um oh wait. Oh, get primary asset ID from some load asset. God damn it, man. Can't remember everything. Can't remember everything, man. Async load asset. Yeah, why is that not coming up? Can I not do it inside here? You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, then what we have to do is we have to call this inside of our actual event. So I'll do it right here. Ugh. Nothing's ever easy, guys. Nothing's ever easy. If valid, no problem. Push that through. If not valid, Yeah, now it lets me do it. So I can't do it because it's a timed event. That's right, because it might have to load. It's so stupid. Do this, then do this. Is valid. Select. If it's valid, then do that. Wait, what the fuck? Well, this doesn't matter. I gotta make this a separate system. I just thought of that. Okay, so soft reference icon. That's just getting a soft ref, and then done. Should probably do it in the beginning though. Although that might disrupt its appearance. Okay. Object, async load object, object reference. That's going to be a hard ref because it needs a hard ref here. So we say drag image to adopt. That'll be a variable called image for drag. And then on event graph, we'll say if this is not valid, good lord. All right, so if this is we're just going to have to do it this way. If it's valid, then we're just going to pump that through the system like that. If it's not valid, then we have to do an async load, get the object, and then we have to kick it through the system. Whoops. I don't know why I did that. Can I not? Hello? Async load object reference. Why does that not come out? Do I have to resolve that still? Wait, why is that doing that? Object. Object reference output. Texture 2D object reference. Cast to texture 2D. Uncompleted. And then turn that into that. There we go. Okay. So what's going on? What you doing there, man? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. What's new? What you working on? You're dealing with rigging? Ugh. Dude. Yeah, it never ends. It's always something, you know. Okay, so if this dumb thing is valid, then we don't care. We can just do a resolve node, and we can just convert this hot right into our variable. If it's not valid, we'll have to do an async prep load, cast a texture, set it this way. That way we're guaranteed that this item is loaded into the system. You're learning C#? Oof, nice, nice. Yeah, man, that sounds like fun. Get owning player, because it's multiplayer. Image for dragging. Okay, so that's done. Good. Now, let's continue with this little mini tutorial that we're watching. I've actually never done drag and drop before, so this is kind of like new to me. So I'm just kind of like bouncing through this.
Blueprint underscore dragged image to here. So that blueprint, go to blueprint, select it. Example is going to be an item image. Make sure that this is a texture 2D. object reference, and make sure it's instance editable and expose on spawn. Then create another new variable and just call this the item slot.
Okay, so he's making a separate drag and drop blueprint, which is this. I think. I don't know what the fuck he did. Hold on.
Object, go to a drag and class, select all classes, then look for drag drop operation, select it, and I'll just call this my blueprint underscore.
Yeah, that's what I already
Make
did.
sure that this is a texture 2D.
Why is every freaking time I try to do anything, it's always different? Well, it shouldn't freaking matter. What is this? Why is it saying a widget? All right, we're just gonna make our own. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. UI visual image. This will be our texture 2D. What else did he do?
Object variable, and just make sure that this variable type is the widget blueprint underscore slot, and make sure it's an object reference.
An actual object reference to the actual UI itself. So we'll just say user, or we'll just say UI ref, and that'll just be a user interface. What is that, widget? User widget, maybe? I think it's user widget. User widget, there it is. Object reference, okay. All right. Expose this crap. All right, so now, let's see, for our operation.
As a dragged image, we can just drag up here and look for create, drag.
Now he does what we had before, okay. Create, drag, drop operation. We're going to choose our custom, which is this one. That's going to expose all of this crap. UI. See, I should just, they already have all this stuff built in. It should just be this. Instead of dragging the image through, but whatever. UI visual image. UI ref. Whatever. Okay. Let's see what else he does.
Drop operation order.
Blah, blah, blah. Skip, skip,
and it'll
skip.
basically create a drag and drop operation of my this image. If a slot's basically empty, I don't want the player character to be able to basically drag and drop from it. So let's make it so the player character can't drag and drop from a slot if it's empty. So if I just go back to my widget blueprint slot.
Okay. So the slot thing is going to be a little bit different because we're doing things different as usual. So we're saying this is our drag window, which we don't care about. Let's just see if we got that part going so far. Let's just try that real fast. It's going to take me a day just to get this dumb thing to work. And it doesn't fucking work. Go figure. I love it. I like it. I like the fact that nothing ever works. It actually gets me excited because if it worked, then everybody would do it, right? And that's why like 0.000000000000001% of the people are able to fucking be indie devs because it's so goddamn fucking hard. Shit pisses me off. This pisses me off so much, man. It's like, oh, just do this and it works. Dun dun dun, and it never works. It never fucking works. This is why I hate using YouTube videos. I usually just use like AI, but for this particular instance, I'm trying something different. That's what I'm supposed to use. Does it do anything else? No.
On drag detected, I'm first going to do a check. On that check, I'm just going to drag in my item image, get it, right click, and I'm just going to go convert to validated get, and connect from here into here, and from here into here. only if we have a valid image in our item.
Okay. All right. Well, what the fuck ever.
And then look for drop and select this one on drop. And when we're dropping an item into our slot,
Where's our slot one? This one? No, this is for the slot. Okay, so that's over here. I'm gonna have to make a separate fucking window for those. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh my god. Okay. New window. Ability slot. Open up all this junk. Another problem with YouTube videos is they show you how to do it their way, but it's not necessarily designed for the way that you want it. So that's always fun. All right. Signed fucking number. Very detected. This should be on the slot ability. No. Not that. Should be on the slot. All right. So we set this. I'm going to do things a lot different than the way he did it. Come on. Slot equipped icon. New followers welcome. Okay. All right, so we want to know, are we equipped first? What's going on, Vixie? Welcome to the party. I'm just slamming out some code real quick, trying to make crap work. What brings you in here tonight? So if we're equipped or not, that'll determine whether or not this is alpha, full, or invisible, because we don't really want to see it. Actually, you know what? Forget the brush color. Let's just set visibility for that specific section. And we'll make it select. Yeah, that's probably better. It's a little bit cleaner. Okay, so if it is not equipped, meaning false, then we want this to be hidden. If it is equipped, we want it to be visible. And then when we're done with that, just to make this a little cleaner, I'm going to say if it is equipped, if and only if it's equipped, then we want to check and make sure that this incoming variable is valid. If it is valid, then we're good to go. If it's not valid, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to do it with the is valid statement, aren't we? Really no other way around this. You were struggling with the donut thing? I think I extruded some points by mistake. Ended up doing it all again. I'm new learning. Oh, Blender. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're into 3D modeling? You trying to get into it? Are you trying to do this for school? Or are you trying to do this for a project? Are you trying to do this for a game? Or like, what's your story? What are you trying to work on it for? Just interested as a hobby, or you want to get into game development, or senior graphic designer? Okay, cool. So you're used to like Adobe suites probably, unless, or was it TV or was it ad agencies? So Photoshop, stuff like that. I did marketing in TV, so I've had my fair share of graphics design. Icon is not, and we want to say load, async load. Okay, nice. Okay, for an ad agency, nice. Okay. So you worked for an ad agency, you got the experience, and now you're doing 3D modeling. Are you doing it for ad agency stuff, or are you going to do it for? Are you trying to do it for like games, or what are you doing it for? Okay. This needs to pass to texture 2D. This will pretty much guarantee that we should get this icon if it doesn't load into our memory. Okay. On startup. And this is for the ability slot itself. New? Okay. New skills. Gotcha. Sometimes struggle with super mockups. Yeah. Right. Yeah. When you can model, modeling is really powerful, man, because you can, like, if you're talking imagery alone, I mean, you can like get different shots from different angles of that image. Like if someone's like, oh, can you like do this ring, or can you do this shoe, or whatever, like you can get all these different angles. You can do motion video, cinematics and stuff. Like you can do pretty much anything. So yeah, it's fun, man. But you said you're struggling with the donut tutorial. Blender is amazing, but it's a big beast of shortcut keys that you have to start remembering. Once you start to remember those shortcut keys, it'll be easier, because then you can actually like do what you're thinking, Yeah, you're trying to do a mock-up, okay, for a specific project, yep, for a product. And you're trying to like mimic it, and it's just being like weird. Are you having problems with like the hotkeys in Blender, or are you having problems with like the functionality of it? Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Let's try. Sure. Bag ability slot. Okay. Now I gotta get these slots to populate correctly. Okay, so those need to be populated. So now I gotta assign those with actual slots. Ugh. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say set our assigned number. Are we equipped or not? This has to be exposed on spawn, as does this. If we are equipped, we need to know what assigned skill we have, if any. Okay. Yeah. I'm doing an entire game, a multiplayer game. Yeah. you know, I do UI design, so that's like graphics work, and I do Blender as well. I do everything, literally everything. So I've been in Adobe suites, I've done Blender, I don't know, fill in the blank, I've done it. So if you have any questions, fire away, but Figma. Okay, I have not heard of Figma. No, I have not done that. You got me beat. What's Figma? Sounds kind of interesting. Is it like a 3D? Okay, you know Figma and Adobe? Okay, yeah. The industry standard is usually Adobe when you get into like TV or like certain graphics design and stuff. I haven't used Figma, but if it works, great, you know? Personally, I use Adobe for like anything that's like, you know, design or, you know, all the detail kind of stuff. Graphics. Adobe wanted to get Figma? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Doesn't surprise me. Adobe's kind of a big boy. They just kind of buy people out lately. It's cheaper for them than just buy people at this point. They make so much money. Ability equip window. Okay, so update slots. Here we go. This is gonna be interesting. Okay. Blah blah blah. Loop. Ability layout. That's the skill. Set equip to true. Okay, so this is actually creating the widget. I think we're gonna create something different here. Oh, more of graphic design, commercial ads, and all. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I believe you. I hope that you find, you know, the work you're looking for. I personally don't. I'm not doing any hiring or anything. I'm a solo dev. Just kind of doing my thing. Yeah, links are not allowed in this Twitch because, as you can imagine, people put some interesting links in here once in a while. Yeah. No, I'm not looking for any help or any work. So, if it's to try to like get a job with me or something, I don't hire anyone right now. I'm just solo. But I believe you. No, this is my side, like this is my actual job right now, basically. So I'm trying to make a game that will bring in the bacon, bring in some money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you're just trying to like network and stuff? Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. The industry is really weird right now. I mean, we just lost... let's see, 9,000 plus employees just got laid off from Microsoft for Xbox. So it's like, oof, yeah. Well, organization's important. So this is my game in a nutshell. Yeah. So like I'm always taking notes and doing all sorts of stuff, but yeah, it's pretty much it's like 90% ready to go. So. Just trying to iron out some stuff. Yeah, it's insane. That's just like a visual cloud of what's going on, but yeah, there's a lot more going on. Yeah, so it's on Steam right now. It's not so like the version that's on Steam is an older version. It's like an RTS version, real-time strategy, mixed with some third-person shooter. I didn't like it, so I'm completely redoing it. So the brand new 2.0 version is coming out like very soon, and the 2.0 version will have what's basically a brand new game. It was a single player RTS kind of action, and now it's turning into a multiplayer up to 4 players, total different type of game, but third person shooter, more about the character and leveling and stuff like that. So, yeah. Well, the story is based on a TV show that I wrote, so it's quite extensive. I won't get into it, but it's really long. Let's just leave it at that. It's an 8-season TV show. So yeah, it would be like making, it'd be like Game of Thrones. Like you've probably heard of Game of Thrones. So no, I'm not a copywriter. No. I used to work in TV, but I wasn't a copywriter. So, UI slot. Yeah, so imagine Game of Thrones except in space, and it's got 8 seasons worth, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's freaking massive. I won't get too into it because there's a lot going on, but yeah, no, thanks, man, thanks. Yeah, the game that I'm doing right now is like set like 300 years before the TV show would start. So this is just like the multiplayer. It's like a fun kind of game that you can play. And then there's an MMO that I want to work on after that. And then the MMO will start to sync up to the TV show timeline. So it's a bunch of work, but gotta start somewhere, you know? How much more work do I have to get done? I mean, I'm probably like 90% of the way done towards the 2.0 version, which is pretty significant. I mean, there's a lot going on. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody in the Twitch community, and I don't know anybody in my network that has a game that's this extensive. So, and it's not like a brag, that's like just honest. Like, it's very complicated. Most people don't even do multiplayer, so that's been fun. And then on top of that, like it's like Diablo, man. Like it's huge. You know, you can have like 4 players. You ever hear of the game Helldivers? It's kind of similar to that a little bit. So, you know, we'll see. But there's just so much to do, and there's so many moving parts. It's like if one thing doesn't work, it's like, so. Yeah. It's going to be very similar to Helldivers. Yeah. That's the best way I can explain it. Except it'll be a little bit more focused, a little bit more reasonable, not as goofy, a little bit more serious. And personally, I think it'll have a hell of a lot of a better storyline, but that's when I get, you know, further down the road. But right now it's just, you know, we're just getting started. So I'm just getting started. But it's tough, man. When you're the only person, it's like, it takes forever, you know? I'm trying to do a drag and drop ability system. So, you know, like in Diablo or Path of Exiles, like you swap your abilities around. So you can do the same thing in this game. There's a bug right now where I can't move, but don't worry about it. That's just something weird. But yeah, like you make your own character, let it load here for a second. It's like taking a second to load. Give it a beat. There it goes. So yeah, like you make your own character, you do what you gotta do, you equip them. You got like a loadout, you know, equipment and stuff, and then your masteries. So like we can choose our masteries. These are all our different skills, and then you take these skills, right? So like once you learn these, you want to get like the pink ones, which are abilities, and you can choose different like areas, like different expertise. So maybe you want to go into like explorer, or you want to do like a medic or something. So you can get like different abilities, and then once you have those abilities, you'll be able to swap them out here. So like you can take these and you can like move them into here and equip them, and then they'll be here on your hot tray, so you can like actually use them when they're ready. So you can like have different types of abilities from different types of like masteries, if you will. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's rewarding when you get it done. Yeah. No, I have no sponsors. No, I don't have shit, man. Yeah, I have silence. I have silence. That's what I have. And it motivates you more than you'd know. It's like, all right, whatever. Unfortunately. Let's see. Drag, drop, ability slot. You know, you'd be surprised how many like good games are out there that people are working on and no one's ever heard of them because they just don't have a publisher, or they don't have like the money to like advertise, you know? back. Let's see, go to your quick window. Oh, you got interrupted by ad. Yeah, I was just saying, no sponsors or anything. No, I'm off the radar completely. I mean, nobody really knows about me. There's like a small community that I started a while back, and it's grown, and people are aware of it. You know, there's probably maybe a few hundred people in it that are aware of what I'm doing, but you know, it's very quiet. And I actually like that way right now because it's not ready, you know, because like what happens when someone knows that it's like, oh, like if a big streamer played this game right now, I'd be like, fuck, you know, because then there'd be like so many people that would be like, let's go, you know, and it's just me. So I can only go so fast. So once I get it to a more workable state, then I'll start, you know, you'll hear about it more, I think, once it starts to come out of the oven. You don't want to eat the pizza until it's cooked properly, right? So we're getting there. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Why? Thank you, Pixie. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I try to get at least one thing done every day, and I've told a lot of people that because there's a lot of people that have been inspired by my work, so they tell me. And I'll tell you, I'm exhausted. I'm like dead. I am dead. You know, but you just got to keep going. You just got to keep keep pushing and doing what you can, you know. Let me try to make a new character real quick. Hold on. Let's go to the main menu. Wipe our data. There we go. Yeah, like you'll be able to make your own characters. Right now, my hair's not working. I don't know why. That's another thing I gotta fix. But you make your character, give it a name. You can make more than one character. So you can like try different like types of characters if you want. I'm still trying to like flesh everything out. And so now we're in like our starter. I don't know if you ever played Diablo. Like, you know, you have like a safe town. It's basically what this is. So we're kind of like in our safe zone here. So let me do a cheat real quick. All right, there we go. So yeah, basically you can yeah, like you have like equipment and stuff. Like let's put on a rifle, put on a shirt. Let's do this. Let's do this. Put some booties on. Get this sword out. Oh, did I forget to put my pants on? Typical. Let's try these pants. These are new pants that I just added. They're like leather pants. They're kind of cool. Oops. They also keep disappearing. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah. So, and you've got like your weapon, which doesn't work here right now. I'm still setting that up. It works on the normal maps. And then what you can do is you can go to like these different maps. So like right now, I could be like, all right, you want to play with me? All right, sweet. So I make a group, I create it, right? And then you'll see it appear over here and you can just join me. So yeah, you basically can just like, you'll just appear right next to me and then we can like be like, all right, what map you want to do? So then we can go over here, we can do a map, right? And we can be like, all right, let's go to the beach landing. Let's go. So then it takes you to the next map. And then you and your friends can play all the different maps, and you gotta like do the missions on the maps in order to unlock the next map. And the missions are like random as hell, and they slowly scale, they get harder. The game knows what kind of person you are, like what kind of character you have. See, this is our mission over here. Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm 100% passionate about it. Yeah, this is like my jam. I got this bug going on right now though, where like my speed keeps getting reset, and I have to figure out what the hell I did. I broke something. So she can't move now. I broke something. I don't know what it is I broke, but that's getting fixed like within the next day or two. But anyways, yeah, you can like run around, get loot. There's enemies and stuff. There's wild animals, different creatures on different planets. We can end up getting loot, and then we can take that back to our base. Let's call the ship and get out of here. And then it will take us back to our main base. So you can like run these maps. You can do farming and stuff. But right now it's broken, so I can't really show you much more than that because I broke something and I gotta fix it. So yeah. Right, right. Yeah, it's all by myself. Yep. I've had like a few friends help me here and there very briefly with a few things. Very minor, but nobody has done as much work as I have. I mean, I've done like 99.998%, if not higher, of the work. So yeah, probably more like 100%, pretty much. But yeah, it's a solo dev game, you know. And I don't know why those stats are resetting. Yeah, definitely, yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll probably once I get a little bit more comfortable and 2.0 comes out, I'll spread the word out more, and I'll wait for gamers to rip me a new asshole. Because that's pretty much what happens. You spend like 4 or 5 years making something, and then people are like, they just shit all over it. So we'll see what happens. Ugh. Who the hell knows? But yeah, I stream all the time, so I'm always floating around. It's something to do with like reloading our stats, and I don't know why, but these stats aren't loading correctly. This keeps right here. This is the problem. These keep resetting to 0. So I've got like something hidden somewhere. I don't know where it is. I've been trying to find it for like 2 days now. Something is resetting my stats and it's driving me nuts. Yeah, nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's the Discord right there. Feel free to hop in. You know, I'm always popping around. You know, I play games too with people, so like, you know, I'm like a normal dude. Like, I play games with my friends and shit, so I'm not always working on this, but like a lot. Every day I do at least something on this game. So the hardest thing you'll ever do in game design and like game development is like not burning out. You have to try to not burn out. So, you know, because it's so much work, just nonstop. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's tricky. It's definitely tricky for sure, because like you'll be all into it, and so like I've seen, man, probably at least 100 people that I've met that are making their own games, and I would have to say that 99% of them have all stopped, burned out, or failed. Yeah, 100 people ish, somewhere around 100 people, and 99% of them have just given up. So yeah, it's a tough industry. Well, and the hardest part too is not only are you getting burned out, but you're not getting paid. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I'm a stubborn bastard, so it takes a lot for me to give up on something. Just in general, I have that thing inside me where it's like, if someone says you can't do it, it's like, oh, it starts to fire me up. So yeah. Yeah, thanks, Pixie. Yeah, I try, you know, I do my thing. Thank you. Much appreciated. Well, hopefully everything turns out with whatever you're trying to work on over there, you know. It's hard networking. It really is. Especially in this day and age, because a lot of people are kind of crazy. But me personally, I don't really network with anyone too much. I mean, I meet people on Twitch. That's why I stream on Twitch and YouTube, because it's just so much easier to kind of meet people while you're working, as opposed to like having to actively, you know, go out and do stuff or whatever. But I will say that you do meet some interesting people along the way, so it can be pretty fun. I'm looking for something in here. So this is the server. Boring code stuff. Nothing too exciting. Boot up system. Set up mission. Generate. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, some of the best ideas I've had are when I'm on the shitter. So so don't underestimate the power of silence. Like I said, sometimes like when it's quiet, you can actually listen to yourself and like come up with some really good ideas. So yeah, shower. Yep, I'm right there with you with that, by the way, because like I've had tons of good ideas. Like you're showering, you're thinking, you're relaxed, you come up with good ideas, or you're stuck on the can. What else are you gonna do? So if you're a creative person, you're always thinking. I wonder if it's built in here somewhere. Come on. Visualize core. No, that's not gonna be it. Yeah. Well, what is it you want to do with your career path? What's the end game for you? Like, what do you want to do? Are you trying to do you want to work for a different type of company, or do you want to do your own thing, or kind of do your own project? Like, what's the purpose of networking for you? Like, are you trying to find different avenues, different jobs, or what's you want to create your own business? Okay, well, what would your business do? What are you trying to sell? What would you sell to people, I think? I've helped a lot of people with college, college direction, job direction, and stuff like that. And I have seldom been wrong with my my advice because I've got a good pulse on the market. Yeah. So something to do with graphics design specifically, or something different. Advertising agency? Okay. So pushing people's campaigns, getting the word out, pushing them and stuff. I think people will always need that, so that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Creativity and stuff. Yeah, we could talk about the elephant in the room though. AI. Yeah, anything with creativity. Yeah. Right now, creativity is kind of under attack. Well, it is and it isn't. Like for someone like me, I feel like I'm being elevated by AI because I can get things done faster and more reliable. But it does raise the bar, and it does kind of drown out the sound a little bit. Yeah, it's a tool. Right. Well, for you and I, it's a tool, but for others, they're going to lose their job. So, I'm a musician as well, so I make all my own music. Like the music you hear in the background is all mine, and people aren't going to need that anymore. They're just going to be AI generated. You know what? Take all the trumpets out. You know what? Replace all the strings with vocals. You can just do whatever you want now with AI. So it's going to kill a lot of talent, unfortunately. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I kind of agree with that. I think that for me, my skills have gotten better with the use of AI because it lets me move faster in every direction, and it teaches me faster, and it gives me more ability, I think, to expand. But for some people, I could understand how it could kind of clip their wings a little bit because they'll become too reliant on it. But I don't know. It's an interesting industry, man. It's changing really fast, dude. Abilities. So abilities, that's gonna have to have UI abilities. All right. UI abilities. Where does that come from? Here we go. tray. We're going to add one more of these. This is going to add our sub tray so we can see our ability list on the bottom of the screen. Then we can move that around. You can see ability list. Widget. My ability window. There we go. Let me just bang this out real quick. UI ability window. And we're going to add this to an overlay. Okay, man. 2 in the morning? Hell yeah, I hear you, dude. Go get some sleep. All right, we'll catch you later, man. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Go get some rest. I'm crazy. I'll be up till like 6 in the morning. Okay, abilities. There we go. I'm just doing boring code anyways. Nothing too crazy tonight. Nothing too cray. You too. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it, man. Good luck over there. Okay, add child to overlay, and then we're going to gotta make sure that this is set correctly. Okay, we're gonna say center, center. All right, let's see what we got here. Did not add it correct. Let's figure out. Oh, I didn't plug it in. That's why. Derp. Might help if I plugged it in, right? All right. Okay, so we should see a new window now. Okay, I see it, but it's actually the wrong one. Hold on, it should be called UI abilities. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Master controller. Get main player state. What am I inside of right now? My main HUD, right? Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see how this looks. Okay, you can see it. It's those numbers on the bottom of the screen down there. Right here. So it is working. We got to fix some stuff, obviously. So let's do that next. It's going to be here. Vitals, center, center. You know what? I don't know if I want to see that big ass border. I'll leave it there for now. I guess I can do it this way. New followers, welcome, welcome. Looking good, thanks. Appreciate it, Ninja. What's up, man? Yeah, I'm trying to do an ability window right now. I don't know why her pants keep disappearing. That's a total different problem. But yeah, I'm trying to get these ability windows started so that we can equip different abilities, basically, with a drag and drop. So you'll be able to just like open this up. This will have a list of all your abilities. You can assign them to whatever keys you want, and then they'll appear down here. Or I might just make it like a menu window, like a catalog, and you can just like drag and drop them down here, So either way, I'm just trying to set all this up. It'll probably take me another day to get it ready. And then you'll also be able to move it around like how you can move this around. Make this a little bit bigger. So like these are my vitals. You know how many times I played a game and it was like, man, I wish I could just like move something around. So we'll be able to do that. Way behind. Well, I mean, oh, Unreal Dev, gotcha. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm like, I never coded in my life before, so I came from the world of TV, and I think working in marketing, like doing all the marketing promotions and stuff like that, I did a lot of Photoshop work, a lot of graphic work for commercials, so I think it kind of started to bleed into this a little bit. So that I think I have a head start in that area a little bit, because you're not the first person to say that. So thank you, but it's probably because of the TV industry that I worked in gave me a little bit of a head start. But then again, I mean, it is hard. Like, I didn't know how to do any code, so, you know, it is what it is. But you can figure it out. It's not that hard. I will give you a really cool tip. So when you're doing your UI stuff, you probably already know this, but especially if you're in Unreal a lot, but try your best to make things like parent-child relations. So, you know, if you know, like, for example, something's going to be a button that you're going to use a bunch of times, try to make sure that it's like, you know, that's the button, change the appearance, change the icon, but the button functionality stays the same. You know what I mean? So that way you don't have to like keep making the same thing a million times, which does help a lot. And the second thing that I found that was super helpful, not only just like having proper structure with like hierarchy, but using your blueprint library. A lot of people do not use these. So it's just literally a library. You just make a blueprint function library. You can just make one, it doesn't matter. And this is like my whole game right here for like my library. And so the reason why I'm saying this for UI is because I have in here brush outline color, button outline color plus width, button tint color. And the reason why I'm saying that is these things get annoying, dude. I mean, these things can get like really complicated, like fast. And it's nice to like build the whole function already. Yeah, so that way you can just be like, bam, I'm done. I can change the button the way I want it. I don't have to deal with any bullshit. Because, dude, like, I don't know, like, you ever try to change a button? It's really freaking annoying, man. It's really freaking annoying. Like, if you want to do it properly, like, with full control. Ugh. Yeah, of course. Yeah. This is, so this is my blueprint library here, and I did, let's do, the one I was talking about. If I can find the damn thing. Hold on. I just saw it. I even do it for print strings. You know how annoyed I get when it's like, I have to keep typing in 20 seconds and I have to keep changing the color and I gotta keep changing the message. Now I can just drop this baby down and be like, nope, I'm good. BPL 20, boom. And then you have it all right here. Message, color, done. And I already know it's for 20 seconds, so I don't have to like keep typing it in. Yeah, the outline one? Yeah. Hold on, let's see what I did for that one. Was it here? Save. I think it was over here. Hold on. Yeah, so here's brush outline color. So you got to use members. I don't know if you've used members much. Someone on Twitch told me about it. I didn't even know it existed. So usually what you would do is you'd say set brush, right? And then you would break this out, or you do make, sorry. Right? You do like, okay, make brush. Oh my God, why did that just zoom out? And then you'd be like, okay, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. I got to change every single thing. Make this, make the image size, you know, change this, right? Total pain in the ass. So instead, what you can do is you can just say set members, right? So that's just a set member. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, so you just do set members and you take the brush as is, so it will put all the defaults in there already. And then on the members, you just choose what it is you want to change. So like if I want to just change the outline, I just click on outline and then I only have to worry about changing my outline settings. Yeah. Yeah. So use members, set members. Yeah. It's a little weird when you first do it, but you'll get used to it. You just have to put the default into the structure for the member, and you have to put the result into the actual brush or whatever it is you're trying to do. This works for everything, by the way, all structures in the entire game. So inventories, everything. So you can toggle on and off so you don't have to do that long thing over and over. So yeah, I use members for everything. And you can do sub members. So like the first layer of members is outlines only. And then inside outlines, I only want to deal with specifically the outline. I don't want to deal with, the width. I don't want to deal with the corner radius. So for this one, it's just outlines and it's the color. So that's how you can get things really nailed down. And if you put it in a blueprint library, then when I'm over here, I can just, this is my, I think this is a button. Oh, wait, what is this? This is a button. I don't even know what this is. Hold on, let me find a button. Ability. Yeah, all right, so like here's my button. Right, so we can say, all right, BPL. There we go. Button tint color, button outline with width, boom. And it will automatically change whatever the hell I want for whatever button I want. So I just take the button, wherever it is. There it is. DTN, boom. So this is the button, and there you go. Done. Easy peasy. So you don't have to like keep reinventing the wheel. You started off on blueprints, but lately I've been doing some things in C++, especially for performance critical stuff. Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you doing like large scale networking? Tell me about your performance stuff if you don't mind, because there's a lot of bad information out there, like a lot, and I'm really like concerned. Yeah, I'm really concerned because there's a lot of bad information, and people sometimes aren't aware that they can fix some very simple things to get their performance back. It's not really the blueprint's fault. A blueprint usually runs 800 ms, I think maximum delay. If it's like a heavy blueprint. But if you're using like functions in the right areas, if you're using, the right binders and everything, like, binding your events and stuff and using dispatchers, there's nothing wrong with it. It's super clean. Raycasting every frame and every few frames. Raycast is not fun. Do you have to always raycast? That's tricky. Yeah. Are you trying to raycast for like a mini map or trying to raycast for another camera? Anytime you add a camera, especially in multiplayer, it's like adding another person times like 3. So that can be really like daunting. I mean, if it's something that's like large scale with a lot of people, I get it. Collisions finding actors. Okay, don't use collisions. You don't need them. You don't need them. You need them for some things, obviously, right? You need them for like actually colliding with something, or I got hit by a bullet, and stuff like that. But you do not need collisions for finding things. You do not need collisions. I can show you how to do it right now if you want to see it. Always use math. Math. I had, when I first started, I had little creatures that would roam around, and they had like the sensor orbs around them, like the big like sphere radius and all this other shit. And I was trying to use collision boxes, and it was just a disaster. And then I did a bunch of research on it, and I finally started realizing that you have to start using math. You got to stop using collision boxes and start using math. Collision boxes are for like really basic things. For example, like you pull your car into the garage and the lights turn on. Although I wouldn't use a collision box for that, but I'm just saying you could, because it's just a car. There's not a lot of vehicles in the game. It's really simple. It triggers once, it sits, it waits, it's done. Or like a door opening. I mean, there's some things you can use them for. Obviously, they're there for a reason. But if you have a collision on a moving target, oh my god, ads. Yeah. We'll wait them out. Ad break. Are the ads done yet? No. God damn, there's a lot of fucking ads, man. All right, I think the ads are done. Hopefully. Yeah, math. Oh, well, perfect. Yeah, you do have to cast rays. I get it. There's some things you can't get around. I'm assuming you're using like distance vector math and stuff like that. I would hope. I mean, what I'll usually do is I will. So I used to use like collisions and stuff is what I was gonna say, but I got interrupted by the ads. I used to use collisions for enemies and characters and stuff, and then I realized that you can't do it. It's just impossible. Okay, all right. So yeah, basically, length squared. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So the whole point is to try to make sure that whatever it is that's looking for something knows where it is at all times. That location is so lightweight. Yeah, sure. But that location is really lightweight. So if you can have that data already in the system, then it knows where it is at all times. And then all you're doing is you're just faking it, really, right? Like you're just saying, you know what, if you're within a certain distance, I should start looking at you and I should start chasing you. Or if I'm within a certain distance of a light bulb, the light bulb will turn on. Or if I'm within a certain distance of whatever, I can interact with something. So doing stuff like that, I found is much more efficient than trying to do like collision boxes and stuff. It's also more precise because it's like either a yes or a no, right? There's no like wiggle room. Because like sometimes, depending on how you set up your collision boxes, there might be wiggle room where it's like, oh, I don't know. Like for example, I don't know if you've ever dealt with doors, but there's a lot of interesting stuff with collisions and doors. Okay. Yeah, what is the point? Okay, so you're just using like the in 3D space stuff? Yeah. I'm curious, how are you getting so you're like poorly optimized? Like, and I'm really curious because I mean my game is pretty advanced. And I haven't had any issues like that. Like there's tracing into the world. There's tracing with the weapon. I'm using trigonometry for like certain targeting vectors. I'm using only a few traces, I think like one or two. Yeah. Okay. So, but you're doing it because you said it was like sluggish then, or? Started using some when I needed some stuff that wasn't exposed to blueprints. Okay. Spending out of it. Okay, so you're basically just kind of like running down. Yeah, it can't hurt. I mean, shit. Look, if you know C++ and you want to deal with it, you're doing it right. I mean, I totally agree. I don't like the fact that a lot of people have come to me and say like, how are you making that game? It's not in C++. Like, it doesn't have to be in C++. It will run fine. Now, granted, it's always going to be more optimized in C++. But, yeah. Okay. Nice. All right, there you go. You got a few years on me. Not too many, but you got a few on me. You got like 10 on me or so. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's tricky, but I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. Because if you're dealing with a lot of networking, like for multiplayer, for example, yeah, it's always best to try to have like your major super functions that are triggering all the time as much as you can inside C++. You are going to get more frames. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, you can adjust the volume itself. It's a convenience factor, yeah. Well, I mean, the collision could just take place at a distance vector. So, like, if I knew that, for example, I was going to be within 500 meters of this building and it should turn the lights on, what else do you need? You know? I mean, I'm just saying in terms of stuff like that. Like, if you had a collision box around this thing, you could use a collision box, but it's not as optimized as saying, that's the player, that's the light, you're within range, you're not in range. Now, it does matter how much it checks. If you have it checking like all the time, I mean, that's not very optimized, but shit like that only needs to check once in a while anyways, like every few seconds or so. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, blueprints don't give you access to everything. Yeah. Foliage ISM functions. Oh, yeah. There's some interesting ones there. It's a pain when you're dealing with the foliage, the instance static meshes or the foliage actors. I still have buggy problems with the index. I'll be looking at something and I'll be like, boom, harvest this plant. And I'll harvest it, but then I'll still get weird glitches once in a while where like I'll see something in the background disappear, or like foliage actors can be a little funky. So I agree with you there. And I use like reverse loops and everything I can try to muster to keep it clean, but you know, it can get really, really daunting. I'm using math for these. These are where things get spawned from. These huge radiuses, radii. I guess it's radii. I don't know, but I got sick of like trying to do like all this shit with the nav mesh, where it was like pick something within radius of whatever. So we just made it math based. So now I can just choose like how big I want my spawning radius for my players. How big do I want the native assets? Like how far away should they start spawning? I got my hard edge border out here. So like things like that, I've tried to make scaled into certain features to make my life easier, but that's all math. You know, it's just picking a random math point. So I try to keep it as clean as I can, because that navigatable radius thing, the nav mesh is dangerous. If you're trying to do like loops and stuff, oof, watch out. Imagine if you have hundreds of those types of objects, all of which, well, it depends on what it is. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is. I'm just talking about a player, dude. So if I have a player that's in range of a light, the light turns on. If I'm not, the light turns off. The light checks every 2 seconds. How many players are you going to have? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to have 4 players? Whoop-de-doo. It's just always looking for a player. So something like that is okay. But yeah, if you have something that's like aggressive, you know, like if you're checking for like bullet collisions or like, I don't know, something weird, pick up items for like any entity within range or something bizarre, like maybe AoE damage, I don't know. I can see where that could get a little weird. Yeah, I feel like I'm constantly wrestling with the engine, but I don't want to have to deal with C++. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Ninja. That's, yep. It's a pain in the ass. Did you? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, primitives, yep. Mesh, static mesh, yeah. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but, I don't know, you know, teach their own, right? If you can get the job done and it works, sweet. But yeah, anyways, getting back to the UI topic real quick, I gotta fix so many different weird things. Like, for example, we were just talking about math. So I use smart lights in my game. So like those lights right there, they automatically detect when it's dark out, it'll turn on. It was in the morning, that's why they were still on. It's also bad weather, so it can detect if there's bad weather, it'll turn on. But if it's nice out and there's no bad weather, they should just shut right off. So now there's no more lights on. If we go back to nighttime, the lights will turn back on. So like those are basically on like 5-second sensors. So every 5 seconds, it just does a quick check, and all it's doing is talking to the core. And the core blueprint is like my manager that just says, "Hey, this is the time." You know, so super clean stuff like that. But I use lights like that, so my lights are all smart lights in the entire game. Like the car lights are the same, you know, and just trying to make sure I keep things within like a good smart hierarchy, so that way when you put something in the game that's like a light bulb, that light bulb has like the same kind of hierarchy, you know, the parent logic that says, hey, this is what this does, this is what I should do, instead of just like lights somewhere. So I had to learn that the hard way a long time ago. I was just kind of like making all these different systems, and I'm like, you know what? These things need to talk to each other. So, color palette for my UI. Oh, like my own like personal or anything. I do have a brand color palette, but that's yeah, basically, like I'm not using like a special one. If you're talking like web colors or like anything like that, I'm just using the one that they have. Let me Let's see if I can find my designer here. Hold on. I mean, I just try to scheme things within the right color sets, but yeah, I mean, I'm on 5.6. I just pick whatever I gotta pick, but I do have like certain palettes that I've in the past. I just updated recently to 5.6, so I have to kind of like redo like my favorites and stuff. But generally speaking, like I make sure the codes are the same. So like for example, design sense of limiting colors to create cohesion. Yeah. I do that. Yeah. Big time. Like I always have like the same kind of like dark gray for certain things or whatever, and then I try to make sure that like for example, like I don't use red unless it's like actually serious, because I hate games that are like everything's flashing red all over the fucking place, and it's like, well, what the fuck? So yeah, like in my game, for example, anything to do with skills and abilities is going to be purple. Anything to do with your shield is like sky blue, right? And then anything to do with like harvesting is orange, or logistics or construction. Anything to do with health is red. Stamina is always going to be orange as well. Some things I had to bleed over because there's only so many colors. But yeah, I try to make sure everything's kind of like themed correctly, yeah. And that's actually a good question, or a good thing that you brought up, because like a lot of people ignore that shit. And like, dude, colors are important. They're super important. I mean, I come from the world of marketing and TV and commercials, and so like when you're dealing with commercials, if you use the wrong colors, you'll get shot. Like your clients will like literally like hang you the next day. So you have to make sure you're on brand with what colors they choose and what colors they like. And if you don't do that correctly, you'll get shot for that. Like for example, if you just saw me throwing like green and red together, like what the fuck? Those colors go horribly together. So you always want to make sure they're part of the same kind of like color family. And there's like a whole thing to it, man. But yeah, I totally agree. Like even this little button right here, man. Like this button right here is themed correctly. That's not gray. That's actually dark purple in the background. White. It works with kind of like a warmer color. The green, I kind of had to use this because this is relating to something else that's based on that. I'm not like super sold on this, but I have to do it because it's relating to something that is usually green, which I believe is energy. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I try to keep things like color themed 100%. Yeah, I do think about that a lot. And another fun little trick is never use pure black. Okay? Don't ever use pure black. That's a big no-no. This is going to become an icon, so that doesn't matter for pure white. I wouldn't use that either, but usually you want to make white like an off orange, so it's slightly more comfortable. So for example, a light, like if I had a light and it was pure white, ugh. Or if it's bluish, ooh. Although sometimes you can get away with it, right? Like I'm talking like that fluorescent blue where it's just like it makes you feel naked. You want it to be slightly orange because it makes you feel more calm, more relaxed, more cozy. And when it comes to pure black, you don't want to use pure black because it becomes a void and people start to like actually feel like they're kind of lost. It's an emotional thing. It's really weird. And our brains do this automatically. So pure black is not good. Oh, but it makes the colors pop. Yeah, but it's not. It's tacky. Don't ever use pure black. It should be dark gray, absolute dark gray. Just don't ever be pure black. And you shouldn't be using pure white for lighting. It should be like a tint orange or a tint. You can do different tints and stuff, but yeah, all these like little weird things. Yeah. Yep. Painting. Yep. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it gets crazy. And then of course, like little subtle things if you can help it. This one doesn't matter, but like I always try to bevel my edges slightly. Not too much because then things start to feel weird. It depends on what you're trying to do, but just little soft details, man. It's the attention to detail that really does make a difference. Like let's open this baby up for a minute. Yeah, so like this one right here, this is different. This is for my abilities and stuff. So obviously I've got like a whole bunch of different, you know, images in here. Everything's softly beveled. I have some overlays. I got some motion effects going on in there. You know, like you can see the subtle blue like slowly moving across the screen. So like there's very subtle things that I do to try to make it a little bit more professional. That, you know, who knows? And of course they're kind of themed around the same color, you know, spectrum. Like I wouldn't put like, you know, like a Christmas tree green in here or something, you know what I mean? So if it's cool, stay cool. If it's warm, stay warm if you can. But yeah. Gradients, background images, Luma mats. So there's I don't know if you've used Luma mats much, but they are amazing. You can get like a whole bunch of free Luma mats on I guess it's Fab now. They have like a whole bunch of materials or textures, I should say. And then when you make your materials, materials is a whole fucking career as well, as I'm sure you're aware. Let me try to find materials here. UI, that's going to be under my materials, my UI materials. I only have 3 master materials in this entire game. It's just a UI master, a landscape master, and an asset master. And then those 3 are used for everything, you know, parents. Here it is. So yeah, what you want to do is try to find Luma mats, my man. And you can make them inside Photoshop. You can do all sorts of shit. So yeah, you just use like a Luma mat and you're just taking the alpha. And then when we make those Luma mats, those are, let me see if I can find an example here. Yeah, so they come in like this. Is that going to open for me? Yeah, so you see these Luma mats? It's just a sine wave height map. Like, what the hell? It's so generic, but it works. And then obviously you build some motion into it and stuff with your parameters. But, dude, Luma mats are so powerful. I'll show you another example of a Luma mat. And it basically, it's just an extra layer of shit that you put onto it. But when you add a Luma mat, it just adds more, you know, life to it. Try to blow this up real quick. All right, so you can see that there's a Luma mat that's moving in the background. But if we go in here, you see how if I hover over them on the border there, the border is using a Luma mat as well, instead of like the whole border just being all one color. And then of course I have movement in here. So it's just the little things like that that really make a difference. Yeah, sorry. I come from the world of TV, which we call them Luma mats, but yeah. Cluster can be my my translator. Yes, alpha textures. I mean, it's still a Luma mat though. I mean, you're using it as a Luma, but yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, luminescence, yeah. Different industries. Yeah, we call them Luma mats in TV, but or motion TV, whatever, motion graphics. But yes, I guess you would call them an alpha. You're basically scaling a white to a black image only, and then the white is exposed, the black is hidden, or pure transparent, I should say. And then, you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like basic as shit. Yeah. They're very basic. You know what they are, trust me, yeah. But yeah, that's all you're doing. And then you just fuck around, move them around and shit. That's how you do like all cool like special effects. So like if I wanted to, I could like pick I'm gonna keep calling them Luma mats because that's what I'm used to, man. But I would take like a Luma mat that's like very spicy, you know, some kind of texture that's like, let me see if I got something here. Hold on, materials, probably under textures. Wow, there's nothing under textures. Alrighty then. Let's just go here. Yeah, so like you see these crazy things. So like you can make some crazy designs with whatever you want. And as long as it's between black and white, this is going to show the color is white, and it's going to be transparent the more black it is. But the gradient is what gives you the illusion of it being like transparent and different, you know, blah blah blahs, especially if you're moving it around. But yeah, so yeah. And then like the basic ones, I made these in Grok. because I got sick of like it just wasn't what I wanted. I was trying to get other people's, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just use Grok. So I had Grok make me some Luma mats here, and yeah, they work well. So is what it is. Doesn't take much, man. Does not take much. I learned that trick from reverse engineering Epic Games. Some of the games that they have in their projects, I saw that they were using that for some stuff. I was like, oh, you little bastards. So I didn't know you could even do it until I saw them doing it. And then I was like, okay, I got you. And then I just kept doing it ever since. Yeah, Lyra, they do it in Lyra. Yep. You check some of their materials and stuff. Yeah, they're using some weird shit. That's a great one to learn is Lyra. There's just so many, like I was studying their the way that they did like their little UI and stuff, their little like menus and shit. Yeah, they do some good stuff in there. I still can't do anything nearly as good as what they do, but then again, they probably got a guy who does just that, you know? If I had all day to make this one thing, or like a whole week to make this one thing just really banging, I'm sure I could do it, but who the fuck has time for that, you know? I try to make things like presentable, and then I move on. Not good, not okay, presentable. Like, pretty good. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm done. They don't have to be masters, you know? Exactly, we gotta do everything, man. We're masters of all. Exactly, yeah. Time is my boss. You know, like if I'm spending too much time on something, I'm like, I just gotta get this done. I'm dealing with some serious issues with me right now with the game. With my like the way that I want inventory to work with my items for clothing. And I'm probably going to wrap stream here in a little bit. I don't want to get carried away on a new topic, but I was just going to say that like I'm trying to like I have like items that I've been using like data assets for my items, but now I'm trying to learn this new system. I don't know if you've been using these yet. There's like no fucking information on the internet at all. And I get so annoyed when people are like, oh, it's in the documents, just read it, and everything you need is in the documents. Like, okay, first of all, when it's something brand new in the Unreal Engine documents, they talk to you like you're like, it's like someone from NASA trying to talk to me about some like rocket crap. I'm just like, what? Like they'll use terminology that you don't even know exists yet. So it's like hard to like, it is. Thank you. I appreciate the support on that. I keep getting shit on from some people in the past. They're like, everything you need is in a document. I'm like, bro, I'll go to the document and I'll read something and it will be like, the thing you want is called the thing you want. What the fuck? Yeah, it's total junk. So I rely on Grok personally. I don't know if you've used Grok or what kind of AI you guys like to use, but for me, hands down, it's Grok. I always... Like, I forgot what this was called because it wasn't popping up earlier. I was like, oh, yeah, it's called this. Just, like, quick things, you know, like, right to the point. So, and Grok 4 is coming out in a few days, by the way. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, GPT's okay. I don't know. I use different AIs for different things, personally. I only use Grok for code and, like, theory and helping me break certain things down, and then I use it in my daily life for whatever, but... you know, image generation and stuff, but I use other AIs for other things within the game element because you kind of have to. Like, no one's like 100% dominant yet. So, Gemini, I used to use Gemini until they were like so fucking woke. It got to the point where I was like, I asked it a question once. I was like, what was the world population in 1996? And give me the world populations up till now, and then give me a projection of the world population for the next 10 years. And it gave me a chart. It tried to tell me that there was 16 billion people on the planet in 1996. It's like, I'm done. That was it. I was done. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm not using Gemini ever again. There were some other things that led up to that, but I was like, nah. If you can't get math right on basic history, then you're out. I'm sorry. So there's obviously a lot of weird shit going on. Yeah, the one last thing I wanted to talk about was this stuff. Okay, so items. Armor. This shit is insane. And this is like end game how you do stuff now. So I use metahumans, and you can make. I don't know if you guys know this. There's something called cloth assets, and then you can make data flow assets, and then you can make what's the other one? Wardrobe assets, metahuman wardrobe assets, and they will update in real time to your metahuman. And it gets worse. It's all different. Everything's different. So like all the nodes are different. Everything's something totally different. And that's just the start of it. And then you get into shit like this. Let me see if I can find this for you real quick. And I need to learn this. What's this thing called? It's called deform. Yeah, so it's called a deformer. I don't know if you guys have done deformation yet, but these nodes are not normal. Total different system. Total different system. Different nodes, different terminology, different icons. And I need to figure it out because unfortunately I need this technology in my game bad. So yeah, deformation is the end game for what you need for basically one size fits all. So if you got a big dude and you got a little skinny guy, the shirt will automatically adapt to whatever their body size is. You got a chick, she's massive or she's tiny, it'll adapt. So yeah, good times. So that's kind of probably going to be 3.0 for me, but it's pissing me off because I'm trying to figure out the best way to make my table, like how my items are going to work. And you know, it's hard because it's like a pipeline, and if you don't know how it works but you want to use it, it's like ugh. So yeah, that's been driving me nuts the past few days. I'm trying to learn that on the side and it's just pissing me off. But anyways, the new items that we do have in the game are starting to look pretty banging. Again, I got a bug right now where I can't move, so you just gotta ignore that for a minute. But I brought in this shirt last night, turned out pretty good. It's got our branding on it, not too bad. Don't see any tearing in it. Not too bad, not too shabby. I don't know why her pants keep disappearing. That's definitely a problem I gotta fix. It's very odd. Very odd indeed. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up here. So let me just throw everything out there. We'll give you guys the farewell message here. So if anybody wants to hop into our Discord, that's the Discord right there. Feel free to message me, message anybody else. We got an Unreal Engine channel. We got game dev channel. We also play games. I'm a gamer, dude, so I'm always playing games, having fun with people. Feel free to hop in there if you guys want to talk about whatever you want. Doesn't have to be to me. It could be anybody you want. There's lots of cool people in there. Make some new friends. If you guys like the music in the background, I made it, so I'm on Spotify. Feel free to check it out. There I am. Add me to your playlist. Listen to my music in the background of your streams if you guys do Twitch or whatever. I'm totally cool with it. And then, of course, the game that I'm working on is on Steam right now, but this is the older version. This is the RTS version. So the new one I'm working on is going to be called 2.0, Stars and Empires Colony Defense 2.0, and it will be coming out pretty soon. 2 weeks. We'll see. I joke about that because, you know, it's like, yeah, 2 weeks and then 4 months go by. Yeah, 2 weeks. What's up, Tarks? Haven't seen you in ages, man. How you doing? Yeah. So, it is what it is. Yeah, so this game is out. If anyone does decide to buy it right now, it's on the store for like $15. If anyone does buy it, that's the old game. The new one will override this. It's like you're getting a brand new game once 2.0 comes out. So think of it as like early purchase, I guess, because the 2.0 version is completely different. So, if not, no worries. Wait till it comes out, see what you think, go from there. It is multiplayer, up to 4 players, so it should be pretty cool. Get fucked. Get fucked, Tarks. Get fucked. That's pretty funny. Okay. Are the commercials finally done? Good lord. Poor Tarks. Where have you been, man? We got to see you more often. You've been blowing us off. That's unacceptable. All right, guys. So that's all I got for tonight. I'll be on hopefully tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off. I want to try to get that UI fixed. For those just popping in, wondering what we were working on, we're trying to get our UI, a new menu system added, so you'll be able to equip what kind of abilities you want, which is right here. So it'll be on the very bottom. This is like brand spanking new. All you see right now are numbers on the bottom of the screen, but these are going to be slots similar to these. And this is where you'll actually equip different abilities that you're going to learn. And then that way you can just see them on your screen at all times. Because I don't like the way it was working on the side of the screen and shit. So I'm just like changing everything. And then secondly, this window down here is going to be like this one. And you'll be able to just like move it wherever you want. So if you want to like have your vitals here, and then you can have your abilities here, you'll be able to move them. So that's coming tomorrow. So we kind of got like halfway through it. We'll pick back more up on it tomorrow and see what we can do. So that's all I got, guys. All right, you guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your nights. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, peace out, guys.